What's up, boys?
Yo, yo.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What a big day today is going to be. Is he on yet or not?
Nah, hold on a second.
Okay. What's up, bro?
Yo,
What's up?
how are you?
We ready to start?
Yeah, sure.
All right. What is up, guys? 90-minute club. Today is the day that Mancini selected his 33 men for the Azzurri on March 24th at 3:45 on ESPN Plus. We'll decide basically our fate. It'll be the semifinal match, and then the final will be either against Portugal or Turkey, depending on the situation may be. So obviously we have our goalies, which is Cragno, Donnarumma, Golini, and Sirgu. Our defenders are Acerbi, Bastoni, Biraghi, Bonucci, Chiellini, Di Lorenzo, Emerson, Fiorenzi, Luis Felipe, Mancini. Our midfielders are Barella, Cristante, Jorginho, Locatelli, Pellegrini, Pestina, Sensi, Tonali, Verratti, and our attackers, our forwards are going to be Bellotti, Berardi, Immobile, Insigne, Joe Pedro, Politano, Raspadori, Scamacca, Zaccagni, and Zaniolo. We're going to start with you, Anthony. Is there anybody you think that should be included on this roster?
I think it was a pretty good selection by Mancini. The only one that I see stands out is Calabria. He's been starting right back for AC Milan, who's in first place. He even captained them this weekend, I think. So, besides him, I know everyone wanted Balotelli. I haven't really watched much of the Turkish league, so I can't give definitive opinions on him, but I like it. I like the new selections like Politano, Biraghi. I think he did a great job in the selections. Nothing, no complaints.
Anything for you, Dill? Is there anybody you thought that should have got selected on this?
No, I wish some of our guys didn't suffer injuries early on. Some of our key players, Spinazzola, right? One of your guys.
Spinazzola got injured in that Belgium game, and he hasn't been since.
Yeah, but my follow-up question is, what about Chiesa?
Obviously, he's injured. He is recovering, though. He's been posting videos on Twitter, so that's a huge positive start. I mean, if we do make it, we do win the semifinal and the final game. He's obviously going to be there. Obviously, like due to the fact everything going on. I mean, I feel like it's a great lineup. Joe Pedro this season has been performing outstanding, especially with Cagliari basically for salvaging them most of the time. I would say he's going to be a really key player in the second half. He's going to come on. He's going to provide that pace that Italy needs, especially coming in that second half, and he could finish with goals. Politano this year has been a player that I really wanted during the Euros, and he could have been a difference besides Bernardeschi. But however, you know, Bernardeschi did score the 2 penalties in the Euros. You know, I can't complain about that. But overall play, he's someone that shouldn't have got selected. I'm glad he's not. You know, it's time to move on. And I feel like we have a great lineup. It just doesn't make sense to me that we have 4 goalkeepers. That's what doesn't make sense to me. It's like, okay, we have 4 goalkeepers. You could have had Balotelli for another forward, or you could have had another midfielder as well. So that's another factor. So what do you think on that with the 4 goalkeepers he chose?
Well, Donnarumma has been playing good, though. Do you think he's going to come off a slump from his Champions League performance and it's going to carry over to the Euro, or do you think he'll snap out of it?
I mean, like I said, it could be. We don't know what's going to happen, but I feel like, you know, he's been playing pretty well in France. I mean, he had that big struggle against Real Madrid, that big blunder against Benzema on the first goal. But like I said, we'll see. I mean, he's our number 1 goalkeeper right now. Our secondary, in my opinion, should be Cragno. He's been playing very well in Serie A. So, like I said, Donnarumma should start the match, and he's going to start.
Yeah, I think he's still the most talented guy on the team. It's just slump.
The thing is, wouldn't call it a slump. We know he's never been good with his feet. That's what happened with Real Madrid. He probably is the best shot saver in the world. Just can't. His distribution's not good. Doesn't have a good touch, and I know it's important for goalies, but he has to start.
No, absolutely. I know he has to start.
Yeah, we got to play him. especially for penalty
I'm
kicks.
surprised Luis Felipe got a start. I'm surprised he got selected.
Yeah. I think that's just in case they want to do three in the back. I know he plays three in the back with Lazio. I wouldn't expect to see him, barring any injuries. Hopefully, we don't see him.
I mean, like I said, we do have 33 players, so we have a lot of adjustments we can make, which is a great thing. I mean, overall, like I said, a team like Macedonia. I mean, their biggest strength is Elmas. He plays in Serie A, and we know what he can do. He got a great season with Napoli. Scored plenty of important goals, especially the one against Milan, to keep us in the title race. But I would say for me is the most important thing is if we can contain Elmas, I feel like pretty much a team is not there. I mean, but we can't underestimate North Macedonia. They did defeat Germany in qualifying, and we know what they can do. I mean, so let's not count them out. So,
Yeah, I agree.
one question I have for you guys is:
I
who's
think
your front three?
my front three.
Front three.
I would pick Insigne, Immobile, and Berardi.
Insigne, Immobile, Berardi. Okay, so the same format against Turkey when they started off.
Yeah.
I would say the same thing. However, I do see Zaniolo coming on the second half. I think Zaniolo is a game changer. He does provide a huge difference, and he could be that factor. He's had a great season with Roma. I mean, he had a couple injuries here and there, but he's been really providing for that team and providing with Tammy Abraham. So he can make a huge difference.
Yeah.
What about Raspadori though?
Raspadori, he should be a. I don't know. I mean, it all depends. Like if Italy in the first half's winning like 2-3-0, I'll see him come on. But this match is really going to be decided in the first half. We got to see goals in the first half.
You think?
It's either now or never. Obviously, we know that. But in the first half, we got to see goals. We got to see at least 2 goals. And the big question for me is Immobile going to be that guy to score goals? He's been playing very well. He's been playing very well in Serie A. He's been scoring a lot of goals with Lazio. But can he transition to the national team? That's been something in the Euros we haven't seen. I mean, besides the 2 group stage games. So you know what? That could be an interesting fact because like Immobile when he started out, he was hot in the Euros. So, but even though Immobile doesn't score, he provides for the team, gets the ball, likes to shield it, likes to pass it outside, and it puts a lot of pressure. It puts a lot of pressure on him because then everyone else has to provide, and that's going to be great.
Yeah, the thing is, Immobile, we all know how good he is with Lazio. Like one of the best strikers in the world when he plays with them, based on the stats, the goals. But when he comes for Italy, it doesn't come to fruition. And the good thing is this time we have options off the bench. Scamacca, young guy, he's big. He's been amazing this season. He provides something different. Could win headers, hold the ball up. And João Pedro, he's Brazilian, yes. So he has that Brazilian style. He's skillful, fast, So we got options if Immobile's not working out. We don't have to rely on Belotti to come in and score goals.
I mean, listen, this first game should really be just like a test to really get that chemistry going and to really, I would say, just outspark. I would just say make something out of it. But we know what happened against Switzerland. When we missed 2 penalties, and against Northern Ireland, we know that game ended 0-0, and that was a tough game to watch. And I don't want to see that replicated. But I feel like when Italy plays against these nations, these small nations, we tend to suffer. We saw against Austria, a little nation. Like Anadovi scored. It was offsides. Thank God it was. But, I mean, Kia's on the rescue that day, and obviously Pessina scored as well. But we can't underestimate these small nations because they're going to be the nations that are going to have this a huge threat.
Yeah, I agree. We gotta focus on North Macedonia first. Don't worry about the other match. We win, and we'll worry about that after.
Nico said hot versus the worst teams.
Yeah.
And then Anthony said it's now or never. Ain't time for tests.
Yeah, man, we got to win. And I think that we got to score early, like you said, because Italy always plays close games. And, like, I would hate for it to be like a 0-0 game going into, like, the later time where it could be, like, extra time or penalties with the team that we could have early lead on because Italy's pretty good at holding leads, but I hate watching them play, like, tight games. I'd like them to score early. Catch them sleeping with Insigne real quick would be my prediction. My first goal scorer.
You know what? As much as I don't want to say, I think Immobile is going to score. I really think he's going to come out of his shell. He's been performing very well for Lazio right now. It all depends what he does in the derby. Now it's a Lazio against Roma. It's going to be this Sunday on Paramount Plus. So that's a huge game to watch because you're going to see Immobile against Zaniolo, the two national team players facing each other. So it's really going to be interesting to see how Immobile can perform against Roma, but also on the national team as well. I feel like Immobile is going to be that guy, especially now with he's played with Insigne and Berardi a couple of times, and I think he's going to do it. That's my prediction. And if Locatelli's healthy, I think he's going to start.
Yo, Nico Ligori, who do you suggest we bring in instead of Immobile? He's writing in the comments that he doesn't like Immobile. Any suggestions from the comment section?
Another thing I'm surprised about is Moise Kean. He played very well in qualifying, if you think about it.
I think he had a disagreement with the coach, right, Ant?
What's that?
Moise Kean played 1 match for 2 goals.
Well, supposedly he didn't come to the Euros because he had a fight with Mancini, but I don't think he's ready. These are like 2 must-win games. You can't be trusting I think 20-year-old to lead the line. He'll have his chance. He's still young. He needs more game time with Juventus. I know they just got Vlahovic, so yeah.
No, like I said, I agree. Like it's a shame what happened to Moise Kean. I mean, the game against Lithuania, it was very weird for me because like we tied against Switzerland 0-0, and then we beat them with I think 5-0, I believe, and Moise Kean scored 2, Raspadori scored 2, and that game was so weird because I was saying to myself like, why didn't we start them? We should have started them against Switzerland, the home game, and we could have definitely won that match with them too, as the front two.
I think it comes down to the fact of trust and experience, age. That game against Lithuania there wasn't really any pressure. Wasn't a must-win. I mean, every game's a must-win, but it wasn't like win and you're in or something like that. So they played well. I agree. They should have came in the second half of that Northern Ireland game, but it is what it is. Got to move forward. Got to win this next game, and we'll go from there.
I mean, another thing like I'm actually excited about is giving Belotti another chance. I mean, I know in the national team he hasn't performed, hasn't done his spot. However, he had a huge game against Juventus, scored that goal. And I'm going to be honest, he's been playing pretty good. I mean, I really think he could do something if he does come on the second half. But my question is, I feel like, who are you going to throw in the second, or are you going to come on the second half? You have Scamacca, Raspadori, maybe Polidano, maybe Joao Pedro. I mean, there's so many players you could select now compared to in the Euros when we have, I believe, 26. So there's so many things we can do with this team. However, it's now or never, and I don't care how we do it. I just want to see goals, and I want to see us win.
Yeah, I think that's another thing. Like the subs we have, obviously there's more of them, and there's like more diversity. Like what can people do? So I would say Belotti is the guy who's going to work hard, defend the lead, just work his ass off. If we need a goal, you bring in Scamacca, Politano. Joao Pedro could do things that no one else could do on the team. He's more skillful. He helps with like when teams are just parking the bus, when there's not a lot of space and you just got to create on your own. So I think there's a lot of options, and they just got to put the ball in the net and survive and advance.
I agree. Another thing, like, Del, I want to ask you this. Having selected now Raspadori, Scamacca, and Berardi, all 3 men from Sassuolo, if all three start, it'll be the first time in history, I believe, three men from Sassuolo start a game. Do you think maybe the second half you start all three and throw them all in, or do you think maybe one at a time, maybe two of them?
Yeah, I think basically in any game, but especially this game, like you make subs based on game flow and how it's going. So obviously, like if we're up 1-0, 2-0, and we're trying to hold the lead, I think we could bring in more of a defensive guy. Maybe drop one of the forwards back. Obviously, if we're losing, which I really hope we're not, and we need speed, sometimes you bring on a fast winger and go with three attackers or even an attacking mid, depending on how the game goes. So in my prediction, I think that we're going to score early. Hopefully we'll be up 1-0, 2-0, and we bring in a more defensive player. I think we have a deep bench, so it doesn't necessarily have to be the Sassuolo player, but whatever basically fits the scenario at the time. But like you guys covered before, we're pretty deep, and we have defensive and wing back subs if we need to as well, right?
Yes, we do.
Anthony just said Belotti's not the answer. Obviously, Scamacca. Obviously, listen, Scamacca is going to come on maybe in the second half. He should. But Mancini has been more towards Belotti. So, like I said, we'll see. But, Scamacca's amazing form right now. I believe the game he had a week or 2 weeks ago, this is who scored for Sassuolo. It was Berardi, Scamacca, and Raspadori. All three scored in the same game. And all three got selected national team today. I think, in my opinion, Berardi should start. No question asked. Scamacca should come in the second half. Raspadori, I'm not sure. I think he's a little bit too young. But however, he is a game changer for Sassuolo. But we'll see. Let's go with the midfield. We have Barella, Cristante, Jorginho, Locatelli, Pellegrini, Pessina, Sensi, Tonali, and Verratti. Who's your main three?
Like I was telling Big Boy and Junior, I wish some of these center mids were strikers and outside backs. I'm sorry.
It's scary how good they are.
We have, like I was saying, I wish we could start all five. Jorginho, Verratti, Locatelli, Tonali, and Barella.
They're so good.
They're the best players on the team. And it sucks that we could only start three of them. But that's how it works. I would do.
Would you guys change formation? Would you guys switch for a 4-4-2? Or
no, you have to keep the formation that first few Euros. You gotta
play usual 4-3-3.
Yeah, so I would have Barella, Verratti, Jorginho, and if we need a goal, you put in Tonali.
Okay, what do you think, Dill? Any changes on that midfield you would take?
Well, I mean, I think Jorginho is obviously in the best form, so he's going to have to start, which he will. And I kind of agree with Ant, depending on whether we need a goal or we need, to defend or sit back. We bring in someone that is more catering to that need, but I think Verratti also has to start as well. Him and Jorginho are probably the two best. And then I think I like Locatelli as my third CM if that's the formation they're going to play. But I think we have the options if we need. Who are your three favorite at the mids, and how would you want the formation to be if it were up to you?
My three, I would keep it the same, keep it consistent. You got Barella, which is the holding midfield, and then you would have Verratti and you have Jorginho. The two that would really hold the ball and the pass along. Verratti right now for PSG is playing phenomenal. He had a great game against Real Madrid over the weekend, and we know what he can do. Jorginho, I don't know. The thing for Jorginho is, like, if we get a penalty, that's going to be my fear. I don't want Jorginho taking a penalty ever again. I love Jorginho, great player, but for me, it's got to be Berardi. He's got to take a penalty. Let him take it. Maybe Insigne, but I would never want to see in my life Jorginho take a penalty again. But overall, I think the three would be the same, my opinion.
And you think Locatelli is more attacking? You think he comes on if we need a goal or no?
Absolutely. Locatelli, I don't know. Locatelli this year for Juventus, he started off very well, and then he had a little slump here and there. We know the game Juventus had against Villarreal. They lost 3-0. But the main question for me was Chiellini didn't play. Bonucci didn't play that game. Let's see. Moise Kean came on, I think on the bench for maybe like 10, 15 minutes. And And I'm saying to myself, like, these are national team players. You gotta play them now before it's too late. But what doesn't make sense for me, especially now with FIFA and the Serie A, is when they knew Italy had to play this game on Thursday, is what they should have done is they should have played the games all the games Friday and then Saturday. At least it gives more break. But however, I feel like, especially with COVID now, it's too rushed. It's like a match after a match after a match. I think it's too much, and that's the reason why you have Chiesa getting injured. Chiesa got injured. Bonucci and Chiellini. It's too much on them, and that's the main issue.
Yeah, COVID messed everything up with the scheduling, and it sucks. We see a lot of people getting injured now because they're just playing so many games in a short amount of time. Even Portugal is missing some key guys. So no excuses. Just gotta win.
Dill, any thoughts on that?
I agree. I think we've kind of all danced around it a little bit. But I kind of want to get into I know that you had spoke about other questions just involving the overall format. And I think you and I talked earlier about, Russia not going to play. And then does the team get a free win? And I think that's a good conversation to have, especially with the comment section. But I know you had a strong opinion on it. So how do you think that should be handled, that whole thing? With the
Anthony's going, right?
I was talking to you, but anybody.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I know
Let
a lot of
Anthony go.
opinions on it.
Let Anthony go first.
Well, what I was hoping, and I don't think it would happen, is they would redraw. First, they like Italy and Portugal. They didn't really get any advantages for the qualification results they had. Like Italy went undefeated. They missed out by 1 point, and they didn't really get any advantages in this playoff. Same with Portugal. It was just a random draw. And I think now, because of Russia being eliminated or whatever they're doing with them, I think they should redraw it based on how the teams did in the qualification. Like it shouldn't just be
I
all up
agree.
to luck and draw. But
And I feel I don't want to get it. Obviously, I don't want to talk about politics or anything like that. But it's a shame what's happening in the world right now, and like I said, we can't change that. However, I do see here it says the Russian-Poland game obviously it's canceled, so Poland would automatically go to the final on March 29th. They will face the winner of the Sweden-Czech Republic game, which Sweden actually brought this out. They said, "Hey, listen, it's kind of unfair that we have to play a game more compared to Poland, then they have to rest for another week or so." It is a shame, but like I said, it's FIFA and you can't change that, unfortunately. And then what's going to happen so Wales is playing Austria, Scotland's playing Ukraine, and the winner of those two games will play the final in June of 2022. They didn't say when. So Scotland will play Ukraine in June 2022, not March 24th or 29th.
yeah, I think just the whole thing's a mess. Obviously, you
It
can't
is a
control
mess,
what's
absolutely.
going on in the world, but I see what Sweden's saying. Like it isn't fair that Poland just gets a free pass, but it doesn't seem like they're going to do anything about it. They haven't made any changes, and the games are coming up this week, so I think it's set in stone right now.
I agree. Another question I have, I don't know if I've been trying to research this for the longest time. I mean, on Wikipedia it says that Elmas is not going to play on the 24th because he got a yellow card against Germany and Iceland, and then Tiomir Koska got a yellow card against Armenia and Iceland, so that they won't be there against the match against Italy. But I'm not 100% sure on that because when I checked the roster, it says he's selected. So that's what I'm not sure about. I don't know if he's going to miss the Italy game, and then if they do, God forbid, they do make it, he would play in that final game.
Yeah, I think they made the squad for both games, so even if they miss the first game, they're in the squad, so they could play the second game if they make it. So that's probably why he's there.
I mean, like I said, Macedonia, I mean, Elmas is their biggest strength. We know what he can do in Napoli. He's had a phenomenal season. He's been playing very, very well. Even when he comes off the bench for like 10, 20 minutes, he changes the whole dynamic. I mean, besides that, if you really look at their squad, I don't know much about them. I'm not going to disrespect them. But at the end of the day, like, this is a game we need to win. We need to win. We should flush North Macedonia 3-0 at least. We got to score at least 2-3 goals.
Yeah, I just wanted to answer a comment. Angelo, no, they didn't select Keane, so he's not in the squad. He can't play.
Yeah, Keane won't be selected. He is not in the forwards roster, so he's not going to be there, unfortunately. I mean, I feel like he would have fit very well though.
Yeah, I just think there's too many options ahead of him, just for these particularly set of games that are very, very important and must wins.
What about your 4 defenders? Who's your 4 defenders you choose?
I would go Di Lorenzo. I don't know. Because Bonucci and Chiellini haven't been playing for Juventus, but they were selected. I don't know if that's just to have them there for leadership. I don't know if they're able to play. If they are, I would pick those 2, obviously, just for the experience. They know how to play the game. If not, what happened?
Say that again. I couldn't hear you.
I said I don't know if I saw Bonucci and Chiellini are selected. I don't know if they're actually ready to play because they haven't been playing for Juventus. I don't know if they're there just for their leadership, their expertise, experience. So if they are able to play, I'd pick them 2, obviously. If not, it has to be Bastoni, and I think I would.
For me, Acerbi.
What about Acerbi?
Acerbi's has to be there.
He's big. He's like 6'5".
Acerbi's got to be there. They need height. That's what they need.
Now that I realize another miss that they didn't take is Romagnoli.
Romagnoli would have been huge. Romagnoli's a huge miss.
I don't know if he's hurt. I know he came off injured the last game I watched AC Milan, but that was a couple weeks ago. So maybe he's hurt still. I would have started him.
Another player I would have loved to see is Rafael Toloi. I'm surprised he didn't get selected, but I like Gianluca Mancini. I think he's very well. I think he's very young. He needs experience. Right? Emerson's going to be there, yes.
What about Florenzi?
No. I think Di Lorenzo's going to get the start.
Yeah. Florenzi, I think he's a little bit better as an attacking back, too.
Di Lorenzo, this year for Napoli, he's been all over the field. The game he had against Lazio was probably one of the best games I've ever seen him play. He went back and down the field, provided for the squad, and I feel like he's going to make a huge difference coming up in this match.
Yeah, I agree. He's been on fire, and he scored against Switzerland, didn't he? That header on the free kick.
Yeah, assist by Insigne. The 2 Napoli Dons got a goal and assist.
I think he has the right back spot locked in right now. Left back, I don't know. I would start Biraghi personally. He's been on fire for Fiorentina. He's their captain. He has 4 goals this season. I know that's not what you're looking for an outside back, but it helps.
That's a lot. For a defender, that's a lot. 4 goals is a lot.
He scored 2 free kicks in 1 game. So even just for the presence of having free kicks and like you need set pieces when you're in these close games where teams are parking the bus and not really playing, so you need every advantage you could have. So I would start him personally over Emerson.
I hope this doesn't happen. If we go to extra time, after we go to penalties, who's your 5 guys you choose?
It's hard to say because you don't know what happens with subs and stuff. Because I'm assuming if we're in extra time, the front 3 is all going to be subbed out. If I had my 5 choices, like of anyone, I would choose Insigne, Berardi, Bonucci, Immobile, and Jorginho.
Wait, so you're trying to tell me you would pick Jorginho after you missed 3 penalties? You missed 1 in the Euro in the final. He missed against Switzerland twice. You would still pick Jorginho to pick a penalty.
Yeah, just he's after that penalty miss, he's still been scoring for Chelsea. He still takes Chelsea's penalties, and
I can't disagree with that.
I would put Bonucci fifth because he's the captain. Or is he going to captain the team?
yeah,
Um,
he doesn't play. He is.
yeah, I think he is. I think Chiellini wasn't he?
Yeah, Chiellini's the captain. Bonucci's the vice captain.
Bonucci's pretty good at penalties too. I remember what was it last Euro before the one that we just won? What in versus Germany? He took it and they brought it to.
Yeah, he also takes him for Juventus, which is funny because obviously he's a center back, but he
he's huge.
he scored a penalty shoot in the penalty shootout against Spain, I think too.
Yeah,
Bonucci scored against Spain and England. He scored both times.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys. Last question for you guys before we sign off. Predictions ready? Dylan, go.
2-0 win. Insigne scores early in the first half. And then we score a header from a corner kick in the second half. Let's say, I think Bonucci, because he scored in the final, didn't he, versus England on a set piece?
Yes, he did.
I think I think that the other team's going to be pressing, and then maybe we'll get a free kick or something, or a corner, and Bonucci makes it 2-0. I think it's going to be closer than it should be, though, because we tend to play down to these teams sometimes, and we don't blow them out like we should. I would love a blowout, but I'm going to go with 2-0.
Anthony, your choice.
I would have said 2-0, but to make it fun, I'll say 3-0. Just like how they started off the Euros with 2-3-0 wins. I think it's really important to wrap this game up early, not have a repeat of the Northern Ireland game. No one wants to play like that, and we know Macedonia will probably play like that, so we need an early goal. I think we will get an early goal, and then after that, it will just be dominant like the games against Switzerland and Turkey. And that's
Who's your goal scorers, Anthony?
I think Barella's going to score. I got to go with my boy.
Wow. Okay. I mean, he scored a huge goal against Belgium, so I can't deny that.
His passion is just unmatched. He's a warrior, and I think this game will have him really fired up. I think I'll go with Immobile. I think I'm more confident in him than every other Italy fan, but I know how good he is for Lazio, and I know even when he's not scoring, his importance is key for just holding the ball up and being like a true striker, helps the wingers out. And I think the last one, I will say Insigne gets it, have his send off, because I'm not sure after this how many times more he's going to play for Italy. So that's my.
I mean, he's going to Toronto, so that's another question if he's going to get selected. But I do agree with that. I mean, he could be a player, like, in my opinion, the first 45. If he gets going, he gets going. That's the thing. That's the problem with Insigne. I feel like if he doesn't play well in the first 45, I feel like you lose him. That's the problem with me. My prediction, I'm going to say 2-1. I'm going to say the first goal is going to be. I'm going to say Bastoni. I'm going to say Bastoni with a header. Very, very surprising. I don't know why. He's been having a great season with Inter Milan. Great defender. And I'm going to say my second goal. I'm going to go with Politano. You know what? He hasn't had a start in a long, long time. I don't know when his last start was. But you know what? He deserves it, and I feel like he wants it so bad. 2-1, Politano and Bastoni, whoever scores first. That's my prediction. But I really do appreciate your time, guys. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure doing this. And obviously, we'll try to get a post game, a pre-game one before maybe that Wednesday, if that's good with you guys.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
All right, see you guys. Take care. Forza Italia.
Yes, sir. Forza Italia.
Thank you to all the comments and the fans.
See you guys. Bye-bye.